For the past 40 years, 13 News Now military reporter Mike Gooding has told the stories of service members across Hampton Roads and around the world. Throughout the years, he has given a voice to the military community and given civilians perspective into the issues they face.
He has been tremendous. Alex Little-Hales gives us a closer look at how Mike Gooding has impacted our community and beyond.
The year is 1985. New Coke has just hit the shelves, and on television sets across Hampton Roads arrived a new face at WVEC.
For 25 years now. But what the flight of the intruder is really all about.
Mike Gooding.
Movie theaters are closed, but the Willoughby Inn restaurant and bar,
The good man.
it's not closed.
For those who know him best.
And I often wonder where the phrase "the good man" came from.
There's this fellow over in Portsmouth. He's a pretty good writer. Doesn't know much about TV. But I think he might be good. You might want to look at
Here
him.
on the grocery store aisles, where even after all these years, Elvis is still making front page news.
Over the last 40 years has not changed a whole lot. The only thing that's changed, he lost the mustache.
And they say no place in the country would be better for them than Hampton Roads, Virginia.
40 years over our airwaves, making him 13's longest on-air talent in station history. Name a story, and Mike has probably covered it. From the state capitol
The irony of ironies, Senator Stallings' bill finally passes, but
to the nation's capital.
And the time has now come for Congress to get involved.
Name a politician, Mike has probably talked to them.
Whether you were governor of the state, whether you were a common citizen being interviewed by Mike, he made it understandable.
If you believe in the law of averages, dole is due.
When it comes to government, politics, the military, there's nobody else.
And I think he is so successful in that because he is just like your buddy.
For example, I'm going 55 right now, and I'm the slow guy on the road.
Off Interstate 64, just north of Williamsburg.
Gooding has seen it all in 40 years at the forefront, covering the stories that matter most.
What Mike has developed in these 40 years is the respect of viewers, the respect of the military, the enlisted, the admirals, the politicians, statewide and national as well. Unparalleled in the respect that others hold for him.
Wait, how's that?
If there is one thing you can count on from Mike, is his commitment to the military.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Who had never served, was never in the military. This guy knew more about the Navy and the military in the local area than anybody else I ever knew, and he never even served. I mean, he had a father who was, a pretty famous pilot.
It's of course been 7 years since the U.S.-led coalition defeated Saddam Hussein.
For almost a decade, it may have felt like Mike spent more time outside the country than in it.
Some 4,500 Americans call this place out here in the middle of nowhere home. I'm Mike Gooding. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to be exploring the question, are they stretched too thin?
Covering military deployments to Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, the Adriatic Sea, the Persian Gulf, just to name a few. Almost a decade of jet setting, making sure his community knew what was happening across the world.
It's so rare, and there's Mike Gooding pushing 40 years at one place. Mike has not let up.
You don't remember what 30 years ago happened in Hampton Roads. You could go to Gooding for that.
This will remain their home away from home.
There is something to be said about the importance for a local community to see one face and hear one voice.
Very real and scary proposition.
For so long.
To not see him in the building when I walk in every morning, that's going to be a sad day.
But now it's Mike saying so long to the rest of us.
Mike Gooding. Mike Gooding. Mike Gooding. Mike Gooding, 13 News.
So, for old time's sake.
Okay, so it's not Vail, but it is the best thing we've got going around here. And besides, I didn't want to let the kids have all the fun today. Mike Gooding, 13 News at Mount Trashmore in Virginia Beach.
How about that? How about that? It was Alex Little-Hales reporting nearly 40 years. Mike Gooding just giving voice to the military community and just the entire community here in Hampton Roads. And I said to someone, I said, he might be the most trusted reporter in Hampton Roads, but perhaps possibly the state of Virginia.
I don't know about all that.
Oh my gosh. Mike's joining us again in the studio for one last time. Maybe, we might get you back here.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
A little special visit. Thank you for all of the work.
Well, thank you guys.
done.
And, I've gotten a ridiculous amount of airtime the last couple of days, and I'm so flattered. Thank you, TV station, for letting me, tell all these stories. Anyways, it really flew by. I mean, I can't believe 40 years have come and gone, but all good things must come to an end. And I really just want to thank the military and the TV station for letting me do all the cool stuff they let me do. And I would sign off by saying this: local news matters. It can inform, it can uncover, it can protect, and it can entertain. Hopefully I succeeded a little bit anyway in doing all those things these years. And really just thank you, everybody. Thanks for letting me come into your living rooms every night. This has been awesome.
Oh, and you've been awesome. And of course you've succeeded way more than just a little bit. And we're going to celebrate after the show.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're going to party down.